From the air, it hardly seems possible that where now there are roads and houses in the valley below, there was once the sea. Yet this narrow isthmus was described by the Greek geographer Strabo in the 1st century AD as a place so low-lying it is often submerged from sea to sea. The theory of British businessman Robert Bittleston is remarkably simple. Read the Odyssey literally, he says, an Odysseus homeland has to be the westernmost of a group of islands, which means it can't be the current island of Ithaca, because that's to the east. It's also mountainous, while Homer describes Ithaca as low-lying, which is what the Peliki Peninsula is. The man bringing hard science to bear on classical speculation is Professor John Underhill. Last summer he led teams from the geo-exploration company Fugro as they surveyed both the valley and the seabed at either end. Advanced marine, seismic and sonar equipment deployed to look beneath the seabed for signs of a buried valley, the continuation of the one they believe has been filled in on land by rockfalls.
We are in the most seismically active location in Western Europe. We're right at the edge of the Eurasian and African plate collision. There is a major fault zone, the Kefalonia Transform Fault, that runs along the western coast of this area. We know that this area is moving horizontally further and faster than any other part of Europe. We have a 100-metre streamer with an air gun at the end, and we're shooting sound waves beneath the seabed into the rocks below, into the sediments below and the rocks below that, getting records of the recordings of the sound waves bouncing back, and thereby getting an X-ray image, effectively a 3D body scan of what's happening beneath the seabed and even beneath the soft sediment in the rocks beneath that.
And analysis has now confirmed they were right. The seismic data clearly showing an underwater valley that lines up perfectly with the valley on land.
And then A2, and then what will you be doing tomorrow?
And tomorrow we start with the...
I'm very optimistic that with this kind of technology applied, I've seen what the type of results are coming out already in the last few days, and it's quite extraordinary how modern, oil and mineral-based geological science can really cut straight through the planet.
Okay, pass!
On land, what would stop the theory dead in its tracks would be if they found bedrock close to the surface. It means there could never have been a channel there. Encouragingly, where they did seismic surveys, they failed to find it. In parts of the valley too, they accurately measured the tiny variations in the pull of gravity. If there are loose, fallen rocks beneath them, rather than bedrock, gravity is ever so slightly less. And again, all they found was signs of fallen rocks. But those techniques are slow, and they can't look deep beneath the ground. Slung beneath the helicopter, instruments that can penetrate 90 metres deep into the land below. They measure the electrical conductivity of the rocks. Hard rocks, bedrock, has high resistance. Loose material, like the rockfalls they're looking for, measures low. It took months of number crunching to get the results, but when they came, they were just what the team had hoped for. The helicopter data: blue where there's high resistance bedrock, yellow where the ground beneath is looser material. And, down to 90 metres at least, along the line they think was the channel, it's all loose rockfall.
Well, the odds are shortening towards there having been a valley now buried beneath this particular area of Kefalonia. However, we still have to do the further testing of the boreholes and the analysis of that to actually confirm or not whether a channel, now long since buried, existed in this area.
Those boreholes necessary because the highest point of the valley is 180 metres above sea level, and they have to show there's loose rockfall all the way down before they can say that Strabo was right. Oh, and Homer too, with all that means for classical archaeology. Julian Rush, Channel 4 News, Kefalonia.